All right, guys, today we're going to be talking about a weird misfit drivetrain that I've put together for one of my bikes. We're going to be comparing it to a stock Shimano 12-speed XT drivetrain and showing how it works in comparison. The drivetrain has gone on my Surly Krampus, a Microshift Advent X shifter without the thumb pad, a Shimano 12-speed 1x crank with a 30-tooth chainring, Eagle XX1 oil slick 12-speed chain, a Microshift Advent X 1x10 rear derailleur. And now we move on to the cassette, and this is where it actually starts to get pretty interesting. This is a 10 cog cassette. It consists of 6 1x11 XTR cogs with carbon spiders. 2 of these cogs are 10-speed spacing. The remaining 2 are for my Advent 1x9 drivetrain and have 9-speed spacing. Now, obviously, none of these parts are recommended to go together, and their manufacturers certainly wouldn't want them paired in this way. But I've had a bit of fun putting this together, and I have to say, it shifts a lot smoother than I expected. This drivetrain went through a couple different iterations. It was started out as an Advent 9-speed, fully stock chain, stock cassette, everything. And it went through a period where it had 2 XTR cogs and a bunch of 10-speed cogs, and it was a 9-speed cassette. And then as I added more XTR cogs, it became apparent that I needed to move to a 10-speed system because the gaps were just too small and the entire cassette was too narrow for the 9-speed shifting. So went to the 10-speed. Most of the cassette is still 11-speed spacing, and I went to a 12-speed chain because it's narrower, and so even though it's probably off by a little bit, it's less interfered because the outside dimensions of the chain are a little bit narrower. Overall, this drivetrain pedals really smooth, it shifts very smooth, very quiet while you're on the bike. Comparing to the XT 12-speed full Grupo, I would say the XT 12-speed downshifts into those harder gears just a little bit easier when you're under full load, but otherwise it's a little bit clunkier. It's a little bit more difficult to tune because those gaps are even smaller. And overall, I actually have to say I like this Advent 10-speed drivetrain better. Now, in terms of specs, this cassette weighs 323 grams, which is a few grams less than the full 11-speed XTR cassette is supposed to weigh. And it is significantly lighter than the Advent 9-speed cassette that I took off of it, which is 450 grams. So lost a lot of weight there, lost a little bit of weight in the chain. There's a few more grams lost between the Advent X derailleur and the regular Advent 9 derailleur. And so overall, everything is feeling just a lot nicer. The crank actually weighs a bit more than the race face one I took off, but it was only a few grams, and I like the aesthetics better on the Shimano 12-speed. If you found this interesting, please give a like and subscribe. Again, not recommending you do this yourself, but it was a bit of fun. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. Thanks. We'll catch you later.